Subscribe to get the news the legacy media won't tell you and only the Daily Signal can bring to you.
Nominees for FBI Director Kash Patel, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and Trump's choice for Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard. And the report from the MRC says, in quote, the coverage by broadcast networks ABC, CBS, and NBC has been almost uniformly negative. How about that? In addition, they continue to a whopping 96% negative tilt across their flagship evening newscast. These networks also appear to have paid the most attention to the cabinet nominees who appear to have the highest chances of sinking. Way to go, corporate media. So on brand. Let's discuss this now. Bill D'Agostino, Senior Research Analyst for the Media Research Center with us, and Tony Kinnett, investigative journalist from the Daily Signal. Gentlemen, welcome to The Record this Christmas Eve.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, Bianca.
Merry Christmas. I'm not surprised, Bill. So you're putting this all together. You wrote the article. They're up to what they're always up to. And Americans see through it, don't you think?
Yeah, they absolutely do. One thing that I want to mention about that 96% negative, they were actually entirely negative about every cabinet nominee except for Pete Hegseth.
Okay.
And the only reason that Hegseth was not completely negative is because there was one quote from his mother that was circulating where she called him redeemed and a changed man with regards to some of the allegations against him.
Yeah.
And ABC ran that quote 3 times and CBS ran it once. And so
there you go.
That's the sum total of positive coverage that Hegseth got, meaning that the only positive coverage that any cabinet nominee received from the broadcast networks was a quote from his own mother. So that's the state of the news media at this point.
It is. It's the state of the corporate news media. Everyone's eyes are wide open, Tony. You know, Elon bought X. People are really feeling that they can get their news from people they trust, outlets like Newsmax. And this incoming FCC chair, wow, Brendan Carr, I'm already such a huge fan. He sent a letter to Bob Iger and Disney CEO because he's saying no one trusts you anymore. Basically, they're going to monitor ABC. The negotiations with local stations, make sure they serve local communities. And the letter we learned in part says Americans no longer trust the national news media to report fully, accurately, and fairly. And ABC's conduct contributed to that, Tony.
Well, it's astounding because after that letter came out, we received Gallup poll data, which shows, of course, in due part to the Media Research Center's excellent data per usual, that Americans across all political parties and bents and walks of life no longer trust the legacy corporate media. They've been fooled far too many times. They've been lied to blatantly, not even good lies, just garbage, trash can lies. And Disney is paying attention to it, at least on the creative side. Pixar is removing a transgender storyline from an upcoming television series that they're releasing for middle schoolers. And as far as ABC News is concerned, I'm getting exhausted fact-checking blatant disregard for basic journalism skills.
Yeah, I know, but keep it coming. We have to keep them honest. Well, they're shelling out $15 million plus because of George Stephanopoulos, so we'll see where it goes. But, you know, they're all worried about Elon Musk and, you know, him being close to Donald Trump. I think Brandon Carr could be a real player when it comes to making sure networks are held accountable. We still don't have the CBS transcript. Bill, I'll give you the final word here with the Kamala re-edit. They think they can get away with this, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And in fact, CBS has been getting away with things like this for a long time. They conducted 2 separate 60-minute interviews with Biden. And in the second one, it was very clear they were cutting off the clip right before Biden started stumbling or launching into some weird Bidenism. I mean, they've been cleaning up Democrat candidates. I mean, specifically for this administration because they interview so terribly. But Democrat candidates' interviews for years, and it's not going to stop unless somebody like Carr steps in and says, hey, you know, these licenses aren't sacrosanct. So it's good that he's doing it. Well,
we got the tweet right now as we hit the break here. Yes, broadcast licenses he posted this November, are not sacred cows. Media companies are required by law to operate in public interest. Womp womp. It's a good day when we have that. Corporate media, we're watching. Thanks so much, Bill, Tony. A pleasure to have you both. Appreciate it. Great conversation.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Coming up, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders sits down with Greta when The Record